People will never forget my name.
Now, if Richard Jewell is indeed the bomber, he seems to fit what is called the hero syndrome.
Psychiatrists say some criminals crave publicity so much they'll actually hurt others just to take credit for later saving them.
Did he crave the limelight? After the bombing, Jewell approached the network seeking publicity.
It was the media, not Jewell, who requested those interviews.
All Americans are entitled to the even-handed application of the law, to due process of the law, and to the presumption of innocence.
It's all a lie.
The search warrant was authorized by a federal court upon the required finding of probable cause.
They wanted something very public.
I don't know if you ever saw this.
No, sir, I didn't see it.
What's your reaction to it?
Probably sold some papers that day.
I have no reason to doubt the intelligence community's assessment.
Speculation is that the FBI is close to making the case in their language. They probably have enough to arrest him right now, probably enough to prosecute him, but you always want to have enough to convict him as well. There are still some holes in this case.
Brokaw told me he had knowledgeable sources for his report at 3 federal agencies.
I will tell you that they were very high-ranking federal law enforcement officials in Washington.
The men and women of the FBI and the Justice Department are dedicated, patriotic public servants.
Second, please. Did you turn around? Where were you at 1 o'clock on that morning? What kind of questions were they asking?
Have you ever seen an FBI investigation this public before? I can't remember ever seeing one. Ever.
What'd they take out of your apartment?
They took Richard's guns.
Our bread and butter, you know.
They took all of my Tupperware.
The quantity of the seizures make the seizures in other parts of the country look really quite small by comparison.
They took 22 of my Walt Disney tapes.
It's the highest number since 9/11.
Why didn't you let the FBI give the polygraph test?
I don't trust the FBI.
Totally appreciate your concern about our institution.
The FBI has told us a number of stories through this, and I don't trust them one lick.
Unfounded attacks on the professionalism of the FBI and Justice Department agents and prosecutors. I will not stand by silently when their integrity is unfairly attacked.
I think that there are people in the FBI or in the Justice Department that don't give one damn whether or not Richard Jewell is actually the bomber.
I am honored to work alongside them.
He's being unjustly.
Watson Bryant says the FBI hasn't told the truth about Jewell since the day he first heard that Jewell had been taken into custody. Bryant called the FBI looking for Jewell.
I had identified myself as his lawyer, said I understood that they had him, and they denied that he was there.
While safeguarding our civil rights.
A short while later, Bryant called back and did manage to get through to Jewell. Jewell told his lawyer the FBI thought he was a hero and that they wanted his help making a training film on the bombing.
And it occurs to me, why in the world does the FBI need Richard to help them with a training film for a bombing?
I will never allow the FBI's work to be driven by anything other than the facts.
Jewell was promptly released and he's never been arrested. But now, almost 8 weeks later, night and day, his lawyers say wherever he goes, Jewell is followed by the FBI.
And I'm proud to see the men and women of the FBI step up and rise to meet those challenges every day.
When Jewell goes out for a drive, the FBI is on his tail. Not just that one agent in the blue Jeep Cherokee, but a whole FBI convoy giving chase on the interstate and off. A total of 5 or 6 FBI vehicles.
We are asking for more resources for domestic terrorism.
How do you know that they're FBI?
Because they followed me from my house. They follow me everywhere I go. I mean, I know what time the shift change is. They followed me on foot when I went to Sears.
I have way, way, way too much respect and affection, frankly, for the men and women of the FBI to do anything less than that.
Please clear my son's name.
You finally held a press conference.
Yes, sir.
Why?
It has to end. We have done everything they've asked. What do you want now? I mean, if there's something we haven't done, what is it? Why do they keep going on and on and on?
The entire FBI family feels your heartbreak.
By the way, Mrs. Jewell says the FBI has still not returned her Tupperware or her Disney tapes.
We do this work for the victims, both the actual victims and the victims we're trying to prevent from being victims. And